Hello everyone, Sean here. Another day of birding on planet Earth. So the snow has melted, the roads have cleared up, and it looks like we're actually gonna get some sun today, which is a nice change. Today I took a little road trip down to Nanaimo, about 130 kilometers south of Campbell River. I haven't spent much time here, so I'm gonna be exploring some totally new spots, never birded before. There's some different habitats here and also some different birds, so I hope to bump my year list today. I'm here at the Buttertubs Marsh, which is a great name. It's a marsh complex that's a popular birding spot in Nanaimo. I'm gonna check it out. I think there's some marsh wetlands with some open water components, a lot of different habitats, and a pretty long list of species that you can see. I'm sitting at 65 species on my year list so far, which, while I think is pretty good, I'd like to bump up today. Now the sun is coming up and the birds are getting active. You can hear some robins behind me, and there's also some Anna's hummingbirds that are chattering. I took a minute to admire the hummingbirds around me. Being new in BC, it still blows my mind there are hummingbirds here year-round. Unlike the 3 other hummingbird species that breed in the province, this species, Anna's hummingbird, stays here over the winter. But it was not always so. Annas are a pretty new addition to BC's birds, having expanded northward from California throughout the 20th century. The earliest breeding record for the species in BC dates back to just 1986. Thanks to the planting of eucalyptus for forestry and ornamental species in gardens, plus many people offering delectable sugar water at feeders, Annas have expanded north and continue to do so. No matter rain or snow, these flying jewels are a common sight in our gardens, parks, and other open habitats in any month. That day at Buttertubs, they were loud, if not downright noisy, and active. There's a reason for that. Their breeding season is about to start. Hummingbirds are known for eating nectar from flowers, but insects are also an important part of their diet. Their presence here is a silver lining to the alterations of the Pacific Northwest. The robins I saw also made me consider the complexities of habitat alteration. A large group, 30 or so, were eating these red berries from a shrub, a hawthorn. We have native species of hawthorn here in Canada, but this is not one of them. Common hawthorn, also known as one-seed hawthorn, is an invasive species on Vancouver Island. It threatens our imperiled Garry Oak ecosystems and is a challenge to manage. The robins sure didn't seem to mind it, however. For them, it was just another meal. After admiring the robins and hummingbirds, I started on the trail around the marsh, a 2-kilometer loop. Before long, I heard a familiar sound. The call of a red-winged blackbird, a song that heralds the coming of spring. Coming from Alberta, I'm used to hearing these blackbirds in April, so it's a pretty nice treat in January. They are a showy bird with a lot of attitude. Blackbirds aren't everyone's favorite birds, but they have gumption. They aren't afraid to mob a hawk, and some call even the shoddiest roadside ditch home. A few could be singing in the marsh from the cattails, in what will be a common sight in a few months. But most were perched among the treetops and were wary to anyone approaching. They will grow bolder in the coming months once it is time to set up territories as the breeding season approaches. A few females were hanging out too, but were even more shy. While not as showy as the males, they have a complex, beautiful plumage. Rounding the trail, I came across a great blue heron. With utmost concentration, it was stalking some unknowing prey. Despite looking a bit comical, its patience and striking speed make it a deadly predator for tons of creatures out there. Herons will eat basically anything crawling, hopping, scurrying, or swimming in front of them. Fish, frogs, salamanders, crabs, small mammals, you all better watch out. Success. This might have been a newt or a salamander, but it's hard to tell from the footage. As the heron slunk off, so did I. Part of the reason I decided to travel to the marsh was to see waterfowl, but there wasn't a ton of activity. There was a group of ring-necked ducks, a new species on the year for me, but they were lackadaisical, floating aimlessly as they appeared to be dreaming the morning away. Unlike the familiar mallard or widgeon, ring-necked ducks are diving ducks, meaning they swim underwater to find submerged plants and invertebrates to eat. There were reports of a ruddy duck in the marsh that day, a mostly prairie species, but I missed it. That's birdin'. The weirdest thing I saw that day was this fenced-off ant mound. Maybe they are local celebrities or something, but there is a warning not to feed them soup mix. Not sure what that's all about, but would love to find out. Leave a comment if you know. There is also apparently a breeding population of western painted turtle, a species at risk, at Buttertubs. While not a marsh bird per se, I enjoyed watching many of these spotted towhees on the walk. Besides their striking black and orange plumage, towhees stick out for their bright red eyes. That's a good looking bird right there. Towhees are in the New World sparrow family. There are two genera of towhees, and the one spotted towhee is in. Pipillo, another great name, contains 5 species. Towhees are known for their 2-footed, backward-scratching hop while foraging. This allows them to find seeds, insects, and other food from the leaf litter on the ground. Now they may not look scary to us, but imagine you were some bug minding your own business under a warm leaf before getting kicked into the open and be confronted by those glowing red eyes. Spooky. Rounding out the trail, I decided to check out this viewing platform. Just as a note, I was impressed by the lookouts and boardwalks throughout the trail. Infrastructure like this costs money, but think of the countless visitors it brings. Maybe I'm biased, but something to think about local governments. Looking out, I spotted not a bird, but a beaver hard at work in the center of the pond. Beavers are mesmerizing to watch. They seem so determined, and so hungry. This guy played with some mud before chomping on a snack. The marsh was getting busy, so I decided to call it a morning. I hope to get a chance to go back sometime in the next few months. It was a great day of birding and a great spot to visit. I hope you enjoyed the video.